Hey everyone, and welcome back to the Ultrapond Podcast. I am PatientTadpole.
And I'm FoeCus, and today is going to be our Game of the Year episode, because this is our last episode of the year, officially. But before we get into that, wanted to just go through the weekly wrap-up news that we go through. So we got them telling you to get your icons for the new year. It says they're rotating daily now, which is crazy. Like I saw all these up here and I was like, I don't have like all the, I'm going to check them out, but they're like, I think they're like kind of giving you one last chance through all the icons. So you can like, if you really care about it.
Nice.
I'm rocking the Super Mario RPG frog right now, personally. And
and I stick with Luigi, and that's good enough for me.
Yeah, the default Luigi, not even the Wonder Luigi that you can buy. What else I got? Apparently there's some tournament going on, but it's online.
So they're doing some. I remember this. They're doing they're adding some more sprites to the game and just a few little things like that. And a lot of the Smash are like, this is technically an update. What if they shadow drop one last balance patch? Which chances are no, but it's just like everyone's like, but what if?
Right before the tournament, yeah, that'd be crazy. So it is a tournament, but it's like an online. Yeah, I don't know how that's gonna work with all the lag and stuff, but cool.
So
they're doing it.
On that, there actually have been a lot of online tournaments, especially during COVID. The lag, well, it is like kind of bad. Basically, it's generally decided that if you enter one of those tournaments, you have one of those LAN cables, and with that, there's only so much frames of lag. But it's kind of funny because like there's actually a different meta depending on if you're in like in-person competitive and online competitive, because like Sonic, because of how fast Sonic moves, he is considered like the top tier of online, but not of like the regular game.
That makes sense. I was thinking like, yeah, ranged characters might be better online because it's harder to dodge or something. Yeah, that's what I would always do. I mean, I'm not like a competitive player, but I played online to where I'm like, oh, I could just kind of cheese a ranged win if I'm like just bored or something. I don't know, but yeah, too laggy for me. But
I will state that it's not as laggy as we think. A lot of big competitive names like Spargo, he actually started on the online scene and then worked into he was number 1 on online and then moved to live, and he's like still number 4 or something like that.
Oh, no way. Yeah, I didn't know that. It totally seemed like an unviable thing to me that no one played. Okay, that's good to know.
As long as
by the time our episode comes out, this will be done. But
yeah,
I think
I think so. But yeah, the reason it seems unviable online is because you and your opponent don't both have the switch, the little connector to make the online good.
You are now that I think. Sorry, now that I think about it, the this news we show, a lot of it's time based, and by the time people watch it, it's done.
Oh well.
So this is kind of just like an archive and like our thoughts on it, to be honest.
Hey man, I like having our thoughts on the things that have happened.
No, me too. Yeah, maybe we'll get faster at it too, putting these out. But
yeah. All right.
Sorry, was there one last thing you were gonna say about this? No.
Nope.
Okay.
Just it's kind of cool.
Boom. Frozen Night League. I don't really know what that means, but Frozen Night League. Okay, it's a new league in F-099.
Yep. Still stayed at the hospital, but not life support anymore.
Right. It's still trying to be an IP. They kind of they're like throwing us a bone. It feels like they're like,
this one's available till Jan 16th, so we'll be around when the people come by.
Hey, there you go. Go play that. Wave 3 of Area 0 of the Pokemon stuff. What games are on sale? This is gonna take a while though.
Well,
kind of curious actually.
Hey, it's always good to just like, well, what did I not get for Christmas? Mine now.
Yeah. Okay, this is cool. $30. Okay, I would want the physical of this though, but
yeah,
of the Mega Man Battle Work collection. Yeah, if you don't like care about physical copies, there's some good deals, but I would want the physical of all of these.
I can say Trombone Champ. Trombone Champ is something that I wouldn't really want the most physical copy, but
okay, yeah. I'm just talking about these top.
Yeah, fair enough.
I don't know. It's just me too. It's just me too. Oh, Cocoon. I heard so many good things about the game. That was in the awards a lot too.
Yeah, it was like a puzzle game that was like, it had like layers where you could like expand and go into worlds. Like there's
Yeah, I watched some
layers.
gameplay of it. Like, yeah, you have orbs that you use in the puzzles, but then the orbs themselves are worlds. So then you go in. It's pretty cool. Pretty cool. Definitely want to check it out. All right, what else we got? They added a lot of stuff this week, actually. I don't even know. Honestly, I think they added so much that we there's some that isn't going to get in last podcast or this podcast. Like, I think it's that much. I'm not positive though. There's also a Mario Kart 8 tournament going on. That's cool.
So something worth noting with this kind of like as the looking back side, it's interesting to note that Nintendo is really supporting like online tournaments through this eShop,
Mhm.
this Switch theme.
Yeah,
Even though
yeah.
and like I don't know, it's kind of interesting because like as someone who watches the Smash community tournaments and stuff like that, where like that has fallen away, Nintendo does not like the way the Smash scene goes competitive. It's kind of like seeing how they want to do their side of competitive, where it's more of
Mhm.
anyone can join. It's not meant to be like this hardcore thing, but
Yeah, they've been trying to do because I don't know if you heard about like Nintendo did an in-person Smash Bros tournament, but it was you just bring amiibos. Like you're supposed to train your amiibo, which is
mhm,
kind of cool. Like
yeah,
that's kind of a cool idea, but it is not really
yeah,
competitive. It's like a cool it's a cool it sounds like a cool side thing. It's like a thing I would go and spend like 10 or 15 minutes at a thing and I'd be like, "Oh, that was sick." And then
yeah,
but I wouldn't want to spend all day being like, "Oh,
yeah.
yeah, keep fighting."
It's
Like I you
the
know,
Alpha Red hard DK sort of thing. Do you know about
was
that?
that mm,
Alpha Rad would actually he was like a person who would go to tournaments of Smash Bros. And he'd just have a competition where he had this DK amiibo that was juice that like had stats that were unreasonable for the game. And it's like, all right, can you beat this? And they would actually
that's
have a little
awesome.
like a side event of versus hard DK. And
That's see, they should grow more of that stuff. That's pretty
and
cool.
one of the funny feeds was I think the first person that went against it was was like one of the best players in the world, and like he used one of those characters that uses a bunch of like multi attacks, but hard DK like because it's broken, he had super armor. Just in the middle of it getting comboed, he just grabbed the opponent. And beat them.
That's like an anime moment right there. And then he just grabs them, yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah,
But we were talking about Mario Kart 8.
yeah.
Anyways,
Sorry.
I don't know.
But yeah, it's
That's
just
okay. That
interesting
is
that like that. I think that's three different like tournament events that were just shown.
yeah, and boom,
Yep.
Splatoon. That's also having a tournament. To me, this kind of seems like Nintendo doing its last hurrah before announcing the Switch 2. Like, well, only because everyone's been speculating on it. I don't really like. Too late. I spread the rumor, but whatever. Everyone already thinks it. I was gonna say I don't like spreading the rumors like that, but yeah, it kind of seems like it. So
Nobody knows, but we all know.
yeah, it's what if yeah. And
Yeah.
then they're advertising the online expansion pack again. Happy Home. A lot of people like this. Emma or yeah, Emma likes this.
I actually haven't seen any news about this Happy Home Paradise, so this is actually new
Oh,
to
this
me.
is old. It's old.
Okay.
Like it's like when they first came out with Nintendo Online. I want to say when they first came out. This was one of the packs they added to it. It's
Oh,
just like an expansion pack to the Animal Crossing game.
okay. I'm assuming it's
Yeah.
just more stuff you can put in your environment to just make it more your house.
Actually, that would be cool if they did that. If they
Oh,
just did expansion packs of items. This is like it's like a whole nother game. It's like another island you go to, and all you do is design buildings for like see how there's a bird with a designed house that's sitting in the rocking chair in that thing. The person designed that house. So you design houses for other characters, and it does it in like kind of a sim style instead of because Animal Crossing, when you design your house, you have to actually physically move your
yep.
character to where you want to, you know,
Yeah, you set it
like I
down,
think
push it, you
in
turn it around.
yeah, actually, now that I think about it, I think inside the houses now you can do it, but outside for sure it has to be with your character. But inside your own house, I think you can kind of move things around. But this gives you even more options where it gives you like all these kinds of wallpapers and lightings and things to put up for them. And it's like make a like this guy probably got like a classy living space or something, or like make this one a relaxing workout room, or you know, I don't know.
Yep. I
So
think,
it's fun. It's actually pretty cool.
yeah, no, I think they actually had a 3DS game that was that. It was called like
Oh, yeah. It
Isabel's
was called this.
Happy Home Place or something like that.
I'm pretty sure it was just called Happy Home Paradise on 3DS. Like I saw it at GameStop. But yep, this was a game before. And then the Mario Wonder icons, more icons. Okay, wait, this was last time, right?
I
Yeah.
think
Okay,
we are
so we
now
did,
at last time. Yes.
but they added way more than they normally do each week, so that's pretty crazy. Yeah. Okay, this Yoshi thing's been here forever. Okay, yeah. So we're back. We were talking about the Yoshi thing last time.
All right.
So that's all the Nintendo Online
Yeah.
news, and
Rotating daily icons.
right, that's what's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think this might have just came out today. This notification about it, because they still just have these ones. So
Yeah. I'm just thinking practically that kind of
I'll move it
encourages
stuff.
a level of hoarding to make sure you have enough platinum points when your icon appears that day. Because it's like, oh, it's today. You can't. Like,
Well,
can you? Well, actually, there are only 10 platinum coins. You could probably earn it the day it comes out, and you're like, oh, I want this icon.
also, coins don't last over 6 months, so they definitely don't want you to hoard.
Which is, yeah.
Yeah, that kind of. But yeah, anyways, you wanted to talk about. Oh no, you didn't want to talk about.
Yeah, I think it's time we go to the games we played this year.
Games we played this year. So this
All right.
is the end's talking about. Yeah, it just cut out.
Yeah.
Anyways, end of the year. Everyone's talking about their game of the year. All the game awards are about. So let's start with Tadpole.
Yeah,
because he played not very many games this year. Not very many games, but he's a gamer.
I am a gamer. Apparently I have like 140 hours in video games this year, which I know isn't much. I know casual, but it was kind of funny because there's this Nintendo what you did this year on Nintendo. I went to pick up, and it's like, you played a total of 6 hours. Wow. Then like I go to Steam and there's over 100 almost on one game alone. But yeah, so I started like listing off what games, how much I played them. So like for example, I played Mario and the 6 golden coins, but like I played it for 5 minutes. I remember I hit a Kaizo block on a level, it dropped me off an abyss. I'm just like, I don't really want to play this anymore. So that was like,
and you're only doing it for a mission, right?
Correct. So I played that for like 6 minutes or something like that. There was a few games. We played some games together. What was it? Mario Kart Super Derby or something like that, as well as Kirby and the Amazing Mirror. I have another hour that's just those 2 games. I thought that was a lot of fun.
Talking about the Mario Kart Advanced game, which isn't Super Derby.
Super Circuit, that was it.
Super Circuit, okay.
Yeah, Super Circuit.
Yeah, the advanced. Yeah, we played some advanced games online together because we had to try out the Amazing Mirror. Yeah.
And I gotta say, like, I know we only here's the thing. A lot of those games at the bottom, they're games me and FoeCus play together online, and like, even if they were short times, they were good times. There were times where it was like, I was never unhappy playing it. I played it until I was done, and I got done in 1 inning, but it was just enjoyable the whole way through, which is what you're looking for with your video games. So yeah, there was those 2 games, and then this next game was also a game we played together. I convinced my brother to play with me for 2 hours in Guilty Gear Strive.
Yeah.
So for those who don't know, Guilty Gear Strive is a fighting game that came out. I think it was last year or the year before. It was just one of the big anime fighting games of the year. I just wanted to play it out, test it out, have some fun. The game is, I am going to say is good. If you like fighting games, you'll probably enjoy this alongside the others. The only reason I can't like wholeheartedly recommend it is because Street Fighter 6 came out, and I've only heard good things about it. But I just kind of, one of the things is whenever me and my brother play fighting games together, we never go into training mode. We just grab a character that looks cool and we just start swinging at each other. And the fact that neither of us know what we're doing is half the fun.
Yeah. Both of us just trying our best, beating each other up. Good time.
Fost here, the guy on the left, he's gone now, but just that weird, crazy guy. I find that I always lean towards them. So here's one thing that I always find a problem.
Guys.
I always have a problem with is that the characters I enjoy played are often the ones that just by the nature of their character, there's 32 things happening on the screen at one time. And as well as things of I'm keeping track of it because I kind of get a concept of what I'm doing. But for someone who this is a new game for them, it's just kind of an unfair advantage. Like, he doesn't realize that he needs to pay attention to, I just threw a horn into the air, it's coming down, and while he's busy trying to do his own maneuvers over in the other corner. So,
Right. And to be fair, you did watch a lot of gameplay on this before, so you kind of like had an expectation of what the characters were capable of. I didn't like know anything going in.
But he did wreck my butt with biking. He is a good. He was just. I remember those low hanging sword swipes or whatever. I just never remembered to block down.
I just kept. I mean, I wasn't mashing. Like I was trying to do things, but I was basically mashing. But yeah, that was a good time.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just one of those things of, even though we didn't get competitive, even though if any of you played us, you would absolutely obliterate us, we had fun with a fighting game. And that's what you're looking for.
Mm-hmm.
And I see by your little videos.
Did you already say?
This was why
I was just showing other games.
This is what I was about to get into next.
Oh.
So there are 2 games, and actually there's another one I want to get to first.
Oh, yeah.
So the first one is Super Hexagon. So I have 2 games that are something that I just kind of do with my fingers. Sometimes I'm like watching a video, I'm thinking of idea.
Both hexagon based.
Both hexagon based, yes. These are games that I just like play randomly. It's like I'm watching a video, I'm listening to a podcast, something of that nature. I play these weird games. One is Super Hexagon here, which I remember when we got it, we always said this was what people believed games of the future would look like. Where you're the little triangle on that screen who's dodging around everything while rotating on this hexagon that's also rotating. The music's fantastic. I actually don't even listen to the music but it's one of those games. The best way to describe this game is it just focuses in on that element of mastery. The game is very simple, but just way too much is getting thrown at you at once. So once you master it, you feel good. And because all you're doing in it is just learning more about how this game works, it's just that loop of here's a challenge, now get better. Just that's all it is. It's like a 6-minute game once you're good. It's very short, but it's just that little thing. If you find it on sale for $5, it's worth $5, I'd say.
Yeah, and you're just like staring into like geometry and physical form. It's just like crazy looking. It's like just walking into your room and seeing you play this sometimes was kind of funny. It's like, what the fuck is this guy doing? Just like staring at this rotating hexagon. It's funny.
Well, there's someone playing at 2 times speed volume in the background.
Yeah, some video talking about some like educational top. Yeah, exactly.
Just active hypnosis, basically. So like I have I think Super Hexagon, I only got an hour of time on it. Just every once in a while I just pop it in for a quick video and then pop it off. But like the real time wasting game was Hexcel's Infinite, which is the other one my brother set up here. Which, if you've ever played Minesweeper, it's a lot like that. And if you've ever played Sudoku, it's also a lot like that. As you can see, both the elements are there where there's these little numbers in the corner that tell you how many are in this line, as well as when you break blocks, you'll sometimes get how many are a space away from it. And it kind of interchanges it really well. The best part about it is they have an infinite mode, which is just kind of, you just click a number, it randomly seeds something, and you can use it. And they are always 100% solvable through logic. You don't have to guess, which is something that always ruins Minesweeper. That there's a certain point where you're just playing a guessing game. So
some people like that part of Minesweeper, but yeah, if you're not in that part of Minesweeper, this is the game for you.
I will tell you there are user-created levels, which I'm pretty sure you need an advanced level bachelor math degree to understand how there's actually a solution here. But like there are some insane levels. If the idea of Picross plus Minesweeper sounds good to you, 100% Hexcel's Infinite is for you. If you're not really a fan of either, it's not for you. I myself have like 30 hours in that game this year, just having it in the background while watching a video. So that was another one of my big like time waster games. But yeah, everyone needs their little time waster game. This was my big winner. Super Hexagon was of the previous year, and I still play it every once in a while. So do you want me to finish up with my videos, or do you want to catch up with yours?
But yeah, we should talk about every one of your games that you've played.
Okay.
For sure. So you played this, you played this, you played this, because it's not a lot. And then you played.
There are a few more. So I think there are 2 more.
Okay.
I think there are.
Okay.
Let me just make sure I'm going through my memory.
We'll just go through all of them. Yeah.
So back when I said I played Nintendo Switch for 6 hours, I only counted 5. I've only told you about one of the hours. The other 5 was and it actually tells you when I did it, what day. Last year during New Year's, I was housing somewhere and just playing Pokemon Violet's version, just like finishing up what I want to do with it. And so 5 hours of that session of me playing Pokemon Violet carried over into this year. So
okay, cool. So you got some Pokemon Violet in. That's cool. Okay.
Yep. Just me grinding kind of. The thing is about the game, I don't know what it's because it's more of us. They give the theme of studying. My mind just goes to the state of just like, curious. Let me interact with this mechanic. That's how it works. All right, let me interact with this mechanic now. That's how, like, I take it very slow and methodically. I don't really rush through. I just keep it simple.
Yeah.
Or not simple. I actually go super deep and just like, if you watch me play, you'll see me just like take a few steps, pan the camera around, look around, pan the camera around more. Generally, I end up clearing out every Pokemon in the vicinity just by the nature of how slow I'm methodically going, and then I just hit R to send my Pokemon out in the process. And
cool.
It's just, I don't know, it's one of those things where when I'm playing Pokemon, it's like I want to be mentally stimulated in a way of just like intrigue. I don't know how to explain it otherwise.
One of the big appeals of this new Pokemon game to me, which is contender for my game of the year, we'll get to that, but of Pokemon Scarlet, because I got Scarlet, obviously you got Violet, is like just walking around and like just come upon the new Pokemon, and it's like cool to see them walk around. That's why I wish they put way more effort into that aspect of the game. But I mean, they already gave us so much, so it's like, okay, but if they want to expand, that's where they should expand next, is like the behaviors of the Pokemon. Because like just walking around the world and seeing, because it's a pretty empty world except for the Pokemon. So walking around and seeing the actual, like the critters walking around doing their thing, and like some of them charge you, some of them run, some of them like walk in packs and like or hang out in trees. They have different activities they do, but what it like amounts to isn't actually that different once you hang out in the world for a long time, But like I agree, there's like an intrigue there, because like I'll turn on. That's kind of why I have so many hours in it, is because I'll turn it on to get like they'll do like buy like I would say every half a month, Pokemon does some sort of code giveaway that you just have to turn on the game and get a free Pokemon from, like, they chose a Pokemon from the last tournament winner's team to give out. And they're always doing tournaments, or like they randomly have GameStop giveaway. Like I have a little card over there, it's a little flyer, but they gave out a Mimikyu in October, I want to say. Let me look. Let me grab it real quick.
But
where are you?
What I was getting at least for my aspect, was just because the story isn't about becoming the very best like no one ever was. It's about learning about Pokemon. I took it very slow. I think I actually spent time going to the education to like learn English and math and history and all of that. Like every time I'd face a gym leader, I'd go back to the main city to just take a new class. And
that was cool though. I liked the class thing was cool. It like it made the world feel fleshed out. I didn't even do any of that until the end game. But yeah, here's the Mimikyu thing that they gave out at GameStop.
I think that's actually a way they could have improved the series another way, with it being like the story of students. I think they just needed to have more students. Like, how many kids are in your classroom? Maybe you won't remember them, but like literally having one kid that's dressed like a bug catcher, and then at random stages, the bug catcher's running around. He's like, oh, hey, it's you again. Let's battle. Or then like there's one guy that's Hiker Dan, or one guy that's the Pokemon Ace this person. Like, they're not all competitive people, but if just there were more people to interact with as students that weren't just nameless student A and B.
Right. Like just the tiny bit of character. I don't know, the word, not development, but tiny bit of character, right? Yep. Like just the tiniest bit of character. Yeah, that would be cool.
Yeah, just it doesn't have. They don't even need cutscenes or anything. Just literally Hiker Dan, oh, I'll be going into high hills. I hope to see you up there. And then when you go up to high hills, you actually find him, and it's like, oh, hey, glad to see you
yeah.
again.
They have so many ways they can make it better. But let's not get too distracted because we're just talking about the games you played. But
Yeah.
I ended up actually getting us into that off topic on Pokemon.
Yeah, it's a
but
game.
Yeah, I get you about why you could have a different experience with it where you didn't 100% complete it. I'll talk about my experience with Pokemon when we get to it. But yeah.
But yeah, I definitely enjoy. I will state one thing that I really loved about the way I progressed with this. Every game I played this year, I played only as long as I enjoyed it. If I didn't enjoy it, I stopped playing. I just set it down and never picked it back up.
Which is how you should play a game. I don't.
Yep.
There's no point in unless it's like okay, if you were like Jeremiah, you should play this game, and if there was parts I didn't enjoy, I might just go through it just because I want to be able to talk to you about it. But I feel like that's just kind of how you should do it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I was going to say, because I think there is one exception to that, but not because I didn't. It was more because I didn't enjoy every moment of it. The highs are super high of this next game, and the lows are also pretty brutal. And that is Magic the Gathering Arena. I think I have. So there wasn't really a clock because I just keep it on the install base or whatever. I don't have it on Steam or anything like that. So it doesn't really keep track of how many hours I played it. But I've been like just doing a lot. So this is, I guess I should explain for those who don't know. Magic the Gathering is
well, let's just say trading card game. It's just a really popular trading card. We don't gotta go deep into it. No.
But yeah, it's
like the most popular trading card game. If you're watching this and don't know, just look it up and you'll get it.
Yeah. Yeah. The thing is, the game is super deep, so there's a lot of like, you get deep into the weeds of the things you could do, and that's generally what I love. If you've ever heard the term Timmy, Johnny, Spike, which is kind of a Magic the Gathering, the different ways in which you enjoy playing the game, I am very much a Johnny. I like seeing how the rules like can be twisted in fun and weird and wacky ways. Anyways, the recent set, Lost Caverns of Ixalan, had this card called the Enigma Jewel, which just basically, it was just a huge paragraph of text that all interact in all these weird ways. I'm like, I want to see if I can make some abuse out of it. So I've been building a bunch of decks with this, and the end result is these are not good decks. These are not high-level competitive decks, so I keep getting stomped. But when it works, it's beautiful. And that's kind of the thing. I don't enjoy when it's not working, I'm facing the high-tier meta deck that's just pummeling me into the ground. But I do enjoy that one moment where the Enigma Jewel starts actually working out. I actually double my triggered abilities, and suddenly my opponent's just I put my opponent on the back foot in a game where they had the advantage the entire time. And it feels like, I think here's the big thing with Magic. The big problem with it is some games feel like one player played the game in a competitive format. I always make sure I like control decks, but I like control decks where my way of locking down the board doesn't prevent you from playing the game. It just means now I'm gaining enough control that I can actually beat you from here. I don't lock you out of the game like a counterspell deck would.
Yeah. Nice.
So that was like, while I've only played like 20, 30 hours, I think a lot of my mental prep has gone to here. I watch a channel called Bronze to Mythic, as he does a bunch of drafts in all these formats. I do a bunch of stuff like that. And so I think when it comes to time, just thought process wise, I think most of it was on Magic the Gathering Arena.
Right. A lot of like deliberating, and like it's fun to like look at the new card. Like I even spent a lot of time just like looking at the new card, because they'll release the visual spoilers of the sets. Will just show you every single card, and like I'll spend a lot of time looking at that just because it's cool to see the new cards and like what they do and what new mechanics they've come up with and stuff. But I not played this game very much, but definitely a lot of what, like you say, mental prep. Yeah.
As for a quick recommendation, it is free to play, so you could try out for yourself, but is very good at trying to trick you into paying money. So if you don't have a good self-control, stay away from it like it's the plague. If you have a good mental control, I would say it's a very cool tactics game.
Yeah, I mean, with any trading card game, it's pay to win. Like, I mean, collectible trading card game. Any collectible trading card game, it's pay to win. So just know what you're getting into. Yeah.
Yep. And with that, this was a game that I spent like maybe 20 or 30 hours playing physically and a lot of hours spending just like thinking about it. But I think my number one of game of the year, which was not released this year, but I looked at it, 70 hours of this game over the year, just like a bunch of 1 hour sittings. Slay the Spire. This is a roguelike deck builder that whenever someone says they have a roguelike deck builder, they compare it to Slay the Spire the way people compare RPGs with monsters to Pokemon. This,
Oh yeah.
yeah. I know visually it's not as much. Like, this is an indie game. I think this was one of the first games made by this creator, but it's just like, there is so much strategic depth into here because it's a roguelike. You're constantly having to like adapt how your deck is built and how you're going to do things. There's just a lot you can do when you get deep in. For anyone who's played the game, before this year started, I was already Ascension 20 with all 4 characters, and I still felt the desire to come back and just do more with this game.
Ascension 20 being you played through the game multiple times. That's what that means.
It means basically think of, you know how there's New Game Plus where the game gets harder? Well, after you beat the game, you unlock Ascension 1, which is New Game Plus 1.
Okay, so
So
yeah,
Ascension 20 is I beat the game 20 times, and it's just like we don't have any New Game Plus to add to it.
Wow.
So
I think a lot of roguelites do that kind of thing, but that's cool.
And just to be clear, that I had to Ascension 20, and then this year began. So the 70 hours were only me playing Ascension 20 runs, which it just was a nice way of like, I didn't stimulate my mind enough for whatever reason. And so on the Saturday weekend, I decide, all right, I'm going to just go super hard on this run. I'm going to try to make sure be as optimal as I can, highest ascension, see if I can make it through the end and slay the Spire. Other times it's just like, I just want to throw some cards and watch a video in the background. I'm going to play this class that's simplified. I'm going to try to go for the hard, spin it to win it, just take every risk, get the best deck sort of situation, which there's not really a best deck. I'm not going to get into the strategy of Slay the Spire, but there's a reason that everyone compares every other roguelike deck builder to this game, and I still haven't even played any of the mods. I have recently heard that there's
mods.
There's a bunch of, every time you click play, it says play base game, play with mods. And I hear that there's a huge mod that came out this year, something about like a guy with a backpack that when you start the game, you choose a certain amount of packs to just be your pool of cards you could choose from during the run. And they all do their own wacky synergistic things. So
it adds cards?
Yeah, so like you choose the character, and then there's just like 8 think of it as like in Magic the Gathering, if there's multiple formats that have their own like synergies, it's just like you choose 3 formats to be in the Slay the Spire cards you can pick up. And there's like 8 different formats possible. So
okay, and that's what the mod does?
Yeah, I haven't played it, so I can't be absolute in it, but my understanding is that's how it works. And I've only heard good things about it. And even then, I still had enough to get 70 hours of Slay the Spire just with the base game.
Yeah, I played this for a little bit. It's pretty fun. And I feel like a lot of the games you like to play get in that whole of it's like a game you can play while listening to podcasts or something, you know? This is one of those for sure.
I think just by nature, because I'm always doing a bunch of things, it allows me to do this while also doing this. And it means I can play a great game while also feeling productive in other ways. Which,
yeah, that's cool.
All right.
So there's your year right here in 4 tabs, except for Pokemon. The Pokemon doesn't really count, but I'm an actual gamer. No, I'm just kidding. But actually, I'm not that much. I mean, compared to like podcasters, probably not that much of a gamer. But top 3 were Zelda, Scarlet, and apparently Animal Crossing I played a ton of. It's crazy. Wow, that's crazy how much Tiers I've played. And also, I had to make another account on my Switch to start a new file without having, because I didn't want to delete this file to start a new one. But and I have a new file on Tears of Kingdom, so I played even more. But yeah, Tears is really fun. Going back and playing through, I'm playing through it again because the the first time I played through it, I felt hella rushed just because everyone was on it the first day, you know, and it's so hard to stay with. It sucks because it was actually surprisingly easy to stay away from spoilers, but the worry of like me coming across a spoiler is something that like, you know, that would ruin a gameplay reveal for me was kind of scary. Because like sometimes some people think certain things are spoilers and some people think they're not. Like I think personally with this game, I saw everything as a spoiler. Like I didn't want to know anything. Like even like a mechanic that which there is. I mean, at this point, like there's I'm gonna spoil things if people still don't want things spoiled. But there's like a whole
Should I
extra
remove my
ability that you
headphone?
get. No, I already told you this. I already told you this. But and I did warn you about it. But just there's like a whole extra ability that you can miss, and I missed it for the first like 3/4 of the game, I think. But you can get it at the very beginning too. But um yeah, it was a really fun game, and I was kind of mixed when I first played it. Just because, but I think it was just because I felt rushed. Because playing it again, it's just like a really good game, and obviously, if I spent 257 hours in it, I had a good time, you know.
Hmm.
I also played Pokemon, which yeah, the graphic. These are like the top two that I play. I mean, I mostly just played these all year, I guess. But it was like I know the graphics were bad and stuff, and it is one of those things where I was way into it when it came out, like way into it, and I beat the whole game, got the whole Pokedex, and that's like 100%ing it basically. I mean, there's probably some items you can get, and obviously there's a battle mode. But I beat the whole game, got the whole Pokedex, and then I even built a battle team and did some battles online. I never got to top rank or anything, but um, yeah, it's actually a really good game looking back. Like, obviously, we hope they do better graphically, but those are my top games, and then just a bunch of other random games I played this year. I played, well, not even that random, but Pikmin 4. It's crazy that I didn't even consider Pikmin 4 because Pikmin has been one of my top series for so long, but Zelda's my top series, and then after Zelda's so it's like all my top series games I played this year, which is pretty. I'm pretty grateful for that because that's pretty sick to have all these awesome games
Yeah.
come out this year, but played a lot of these. This one, I feel Animal Crossing. I feel like I must have played a ton at the beginning of the year, or maybe I just left my system on with this in the background. I think because I don't have that many memories of playing this game. It is a game I do constantly just kind of like. I'll just have a week where I'm like, I'm gonna play Animal Crossing every day for this week, but it's like just small sessions. I don't know.
It's a relaxed
Pikmin 4 is
experience.
really
That's
fun.
the whole point. Where the others are
Yeah,
like, hey, we're playing. When you're playing Pokemon in the style of we're doing this competitively, we are making a competitive team. We are seeing what the end game has to offer.
yeah, it's like a
And
constant mental action in Pokemon, whereas Animal Crossing, I can just kind of la da da. And it's different than like a puzzle no brain game where you're kind of like the Excels, you know. I wouldn't say no brain, but puzzle like no attention thing where you're paying attention to whatever it is you're listening to, the
yeah,
podcast, educational, YouTube video, whatever that you're listening to, but then you're like doing this thing with your hands. Whereas Animal Crossing, you can listen to other things while you're doing it, but it's a different vibe. It's like you're not like figuring out a crossword. You're walking around. For me personally, I'm just like picking up items. Like a lot of people could probably get analytical with it in like in a creative way and like artistic way, like making their island how they want it. I do some island decorating, obviously, but I'm no pro, and I don't try to make it amazing. I just like making things look nice, you know. But anyways, anyway, I don't want to talk too much on Animal Crossing just because. Yeah, it's a chill experience. Pikmin 4 is dope and needs a lot of recognition. It's a short game compared to the other two that I played so much of this year. Uh, but it's actually really good. And I beat so there's like, I don't want to spoil too much, but there's like an ending and then there's a post game. I haven't beaten the post game, but then there's like a whole nother like game mode. And I don't want to spoil it for anyone that has played it, but I have beat the other game mode. Um, but it's really fun and it's actually hard. I mean, okay, it's one of those things where if I just played through the whole game, including the post game, in one sitting, where I'm at would not be hard right now. But I stopped after I beat like the main game. So like now going back to the post game is like, holy crap. Like I forgot how to like be good at this, you know?
oh yeah, same reason it's hard to like jump back to an RPG after a month or two.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yep.
yeah. Exactly. Played a lot of Nintendo 64 online. I can't. What games came out on the Switch online this year?
Well, I know one was the
Oh.
Harvest Moon 64.
Harvest Moon. I mean, I've just been playing that on stream, but shouts out FoeCus stream.
I'll have it in the
FoeCus
description.
underscore. Wait, is the sound from my
It
thing
sounds
going
fine on my
here?
side. Every once in a while you're
Okay.
getting a little visual hiccups, but sound wise you've been just fine.
No, I'm talking about is the sound from my Switch going through, but
No,
I
it's
think
not.
it is, but it's not. Okay, good.
Yep.
Oh yeah, the Pokemon Stadiums came out this year.
Oh,
I think, right? Didn't they?
I think so. Man, I gotta go back and play Pokemon Stadium 2 just for the mini games.
I know. Did you see? Oh, just a quick caveat. They played the Pokemon Stadium 2 mini games at the most recent Pokemon tournament that was online. The hosts played it together against each other. It was actually really good. I was like, damn, good for them. But yeah, I always play a lot of N64, a lot of Harvest Moon 64 on the stream. Hades, played through that in 30 hours. That was a fun game. I liked it. Only roguelite I played really.
I will say you are not done with Hades because I know what done in Hades means, but like at the same time, like he had the complete experience. He defeated the final boss.
And this is one of those games I played because Tadpole. Well, you bought me the game. That's right.
Right, I did.
Tadpole kind of encouraged me to play it, so it made me want to play it more. So I don't think I would play this game on my own, but I did have a good time. You know,
Yep.
good.
Like we said, you just play until you're done having a good time. And roguelikes do not fall for the trick with roguelikes. They are built to last infinitely. When you're done with the game, put it down. So.
Oh yeah, yeah. If you're one of those people that's like, I need to complete it. Yeah, no. Fire Emblem Three Houses. I want to go back to this game. I did end up spending 29 hours playing it. It's a way different game than I ever play, but it's the game that started my acceptance of getting into anime. So that's pretty cool.
So thank you very much, Fire Emblem. I have prayers I have to give to you or something like that.
I mean, I feel it's like the straw that broke the camel's back because you've always mentioned so much anime and stuff to me. Mm-hmm. And then all the other games, I don't really count these. These are just like, I probably just booted them up to check them out. Oh my gosh, except I've played this for so long. They must, okay, I think they don't count what you played in December because I've played so much Mystery Dungeon this month. So,
and then I remember you talking about you going back in Yoshi's Crafted World to like just repeat some things on it, which...
Well, yeah, me and my girlfriend play this together a lot, so that's kind of, so we don't play long hours, but when we go back, yeah, we just go back and complete stuff. Oh, and Wonder! I played Wonder. I beat this whole game in less than 10 hours. I don't know. I'm not super into it. That's just not... I think it's because it's a lot like Super Mario. We can talk about this in a second, but yeah. Sorry, what were you going to say?
I just remember with Yoshi's Crafted World, the one time I played with you, we were like at the later game stages. It was my first time played. I'm just like, oh, don't worry, it's just a little kid's game. And then we just faced some of the most intense levels I've seen in a long time. I'm just like...
Yeah, it's like, it's actually... 2-player, it's pretty hard. 1-player, it's probably super easy, but yeah, 2-player, there's a lot of like bouncing and getting thrown around. But I mean, you'll beat the level.
It was one...
really funny.
It was one where like you were on an airplane that depending on where you stood was where the airplane like moved up and down. But because we were both on it, we had to constantly like jump and sink to let it go up, and all of these things.
Yeah, we had to work together to balance. Yeah, that stuff's always fun. WarioWare movie. I don't think you might have mentioned it when you were talking, but I forgot. But
I didn't mention any games that I played on your system. Yes, I played WarioWare Move It with my brother. I think this was during Thanksgiving I came over and we played this.
Yep.
And yeah, this, again, fantastic game, but only has so much to do it. It's like a party game that you leave, like, it's an amazing party game. I'm just going to leave it there.
Yeah. Good party game. Great time. It's a good, like, 2-player game to just play through if you have someone that's into this. And yeah, that's it. That's pretty... All of these, if it's less, hour or less, I probably just booted it up to check it out or something. But yeah.
I feel like some of these were literally just missions, like that Dragon Ball Z Fighters. I feel like you just booted it up and then shut it down.
Okay, Eastward was a mission. Dragon Ball Z was a mission. Even F-099 was a mission. This WarioWare I turned on to check out because we just played the other WarioWare. This I just because it's a free game, free
Yeah.
Pokemon game, so I just played it for a second. I went back to Dragon Quest to remember where I was at and see if I wanted. I'm at a post game boss. That's not super hard, but it like takes some thought to beat. And so I'm like, all right, when I'm ready to beat that, I'll go back. But yeah, and Cult of Lamb was a mission. This game, I just didn't. Me and my girlfriend are playing this together too, but we want to beat Yoshi first. I don't remember. I don't even remember some of these. Probably just checked them out. Anyways, that brings us to what is our game of the year? And so there's going to be a little caveat for Tadpole and I, because you were saying you want, like, it doesn't need to be a game you played for sure, but just like our game of the year, like, you know what I mean? But like, you had an idea for what game you were going to choose, didn't you?
I think because the main thing is I feel like it's a little weird having Slay the Spire be my game of the year when it came out like 5 years ago at this point or something like that.
I mean, that's the point. It's like,
Yeah.
what games did we like this year? But also, I think so. We make up the rules, is what I'm saying. We make
Cool.
up the rules.
All
I think that we can just choose whatever game we want. I'm gonna choose from a game I played. Okay, let's break it into two categories. Let's talk about our game of the year, and then just like mine, Jeremiah, yours, Tadpoles, and then we can say the Ultrapond game of the year. But then also just like, I think the collective game of the year for like gamers, for everyone, I think Baldur's Gate is it.
Yeah.
And like, what, it already won it. And I don't know if you have any contesting on that. I kind of like, okay, yeah, for just like objectively best game, it's between Tears of Kingdom and Baldur's Gate. But even as a Zelda fan, I still think it's Baldur's Gate, just because Tears is just an extension of Breath of the Wild. I don't know.
I mean, Baldur's Gate's just an extension of Dungeons and Dragons. Which
fair enough.
That's so. In case you're wondering, one of the big reasons that I haven't been playing many video games is because this year one of the big things I did is I started making a bunch of Google documents and like rebuilding 5th edition to like fix the parts that I didn't like, and just I'm going hard. I got like a group of I think 6 players that have been wanting to play it, so I've been able to be a dungeon master and actually run people through the game. That's something that I think just started this year. So I have like 2 warlocks that are both one fiend pact, so I had to find a way to make them both dynamic and different from each other. Luckily, one wants to be Pact of the Blade, basically one's a spell sword, one's a commander of like undead and stuff.
Thank you for translating.
Yes, yeah. I needed to translate. Then I have like a druid who just wants to be a Disney princess, so that was a lot of fun figuring out, because like as we were building it, I kind of realized, okay, hold up, you want to be a heel. I have a feeling that the way I'm building the character and the character you want are 2 different themes. So I need to rethink my argument, stop thinking in mechanics and start thinking in theme. What would a Disney princess do for combat? Not what does a druid do for combat? What does the Disney princess do? And once I figured that out, it became a lot smoother of a transition. One person's being like insightful rogue, so I actually just started doing a theme where, hey, this person is a liar. I'm just going to hand you a note saying you know he's lying. I'm not going to have you roll, just like, you took expertise and insight. This is something you do. This is something you are a master of. And just those little additions helped really push things for me. But generally speaking, yeah, my mind has been on Dungeons and Dragons. Baldur's Gate 3 is an extension of Dungeons and Dragons that is technically a video game. I don't think you can really compete with that.
Yeah. And just so you know, on my end, your mic keeps cutting out. So if I'm not responding to you, I don't know.
I kept talking because you froze on my side. So
okay, cool. I think we're just skipping out. So hopefully your end is recording everything good though, because you got it recording. But anyways,
I'm keeping an eye on it.
Anyways, that's a good point. Yeah. So Baldur's Gate 3 for official. Now, for individual game of the year, which go by whatever rules you want, you can choose a game you played or not played, whatever. Yeah. I think I'm honestly... Wait, Scarlet came out last year, though, right?
Correct.
Pokemon Scarlet? Well, it doesn't matter. It's your own rules.
Who cares?
But
your own rules.
I don't know. It's honestly between Tears of Kingdom and Scarlet. And, like...
All right. Well, it seems he froze.
Oh, I froze.
All right, you're back.
Okay, cool.
So,
just so you know, I am pausing between things I'm saying. So
okay.
It might not be cutting out. It could just be pausing. But yeah, I don't know. I can't decide. Like
right.
you played only like a little bit of Violet,
Yep.
and you played no Tears of Kingdom. You
Which
played through Breath of the Wild though all the way,
I
right?
played
So
through Breath of the Wild all the way. Yes.
okay,
I
yeah.
I think we had this whole discussion. Tears of the Kingdom is literally inside my Switch right now, but I
Yeah.
haven't actually pressed play.
Okay, here's how I'll put it. I'm gonna say Scarlet was my game for this year, but it feels like Tears of Kingdom I'm just gonna be playing for a while still because like I got it when the hype was out and it was fun, but then like the hype and the like pressure, I kind of put it on myself though, but the pressure of like not wanting things spoiled kind of messed it up for me. But now I'm coming back to it at the end of the year, like, oh wow, this is fun to like play through at my own pace, and like I'm actually having a good time. And yeah, so my game of the year is Scarlet for sure. But what was yours personally?
Yeah. So in the same way that you're saying that there's a game that you're going to come back to that you're going to do that, I feel like that's me with Slay the Spire. It's not my game of the year. It's just a game that I come back to. In the same way,
Yeah.
Hexcel's Infinite, I'm going to play it while I'm doing podcasts, while I'm watching podcasts. I'm not going to call that my game of the year, even though those two
Mhm.
together took over half the time I played this year.
Right.
Yeah. So with that in mind, I think I just need to think what was the most entertaining experience in the moment, and I think it has to be that WarioWare Move It. Just when we were playing that
Yes.
together, it was
It's
just
so fun.
and that's the thing. Like, yes, it was short. We didn't. I haven't picked it up since that time we played it. But the fact is, we played it and we were like, we're not stopping until we've completed this game. We are not done yet. And then once we completed the game, I'm like, hey, I'm going back to 9-volt stage. I'm going to see that final boss fight in the level 2 form. And dude, okay, it's okay. I'm going to spoil this. So,
Yeah.
each of them are like different motions and stuff. The final boss for 9-volt stage is you put your hands out and you have to like move back and forth as you're doing the slide missions in Super Mario 64. And as you move, you're like changing how you slide down the things.
Yeah, you are Mario who's going down that slide in Mario 64, the iconic slide, and you're just like controlling his character. It's really funny. It's
And
good.
so like the second stage is the ice area. I'm like, oh, there's no way. They're not going to give us the shortcut. That's way too easy. And then I went into the wall and I went through the shortcut. I'm like, well,
Pretty cool they did that, yeah.
yep. Just the little love and touches. Like, there's a lot of love and touching in that game. That last phrase does not work. There's a lot of love.
There's a lot of
I will say the hand motion theme was terrifying every time it occurred.
yeah, there's like a weird camera on the Switch. I have my controller right here.
Mhm.
There's like a camera sensor on the bottom, and I'm showing it to my camera, but
Sweet.
like somehow you like hold this with it's strapped to your arm wrist. You hold this in one hand and like have the camera face the other one. It's really confusing, and those ones are scary when they came up.
Yep. I just remember one. It was like I had to do the symbol for 2 and then the symbol for 3, and it just was not capturing any of my hand motions. And
Yeah, it takes a minute to figure it out.
yeah, it's like I'm not even sure. Do I need to bring my hand down? It's the only one that if you go into the options, you'll see like 3 or you'll see 2 pages of advice of how to get it working properly. Which the fact that you need to go into the tutorial to figure out just how to get it to work properly, it's kind of a signal that I think that is the one failed motion in this game. Add in how long it takes you to get it set up when all the others kind of have either the hands here or like on the table ready to pounce or whatever. I think that was the one like hand motion that was a flaw in that game. And if you have if that's your only flaw, you're a fantastic game.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's a good choice. I actually was gonna say that since we have our objective pick just for like gaming game of the year, and then we have each of our picks, I was gonna say we should do an Ultrapond pick, and I was gonna say we should do that one. We should do okay, cool. That could be our like Ultrapond pick.
Ultrapond is WarioWare Move It. I like it.
Yeah,
But it only works because we're Ultrapond.
Game of the year.
I wouldn't do it on my own. I'm not sure you would enjoy as much if it was just you. But together,
yeah.
Oh my gosh, that game's amazing.
Dude, I still have like a fond memory. I mean, it only happened like November last month. It only happened like a month ago, a little bit. But yeah, I still, when I go into the living room, I have fond memories of it. I'm like, man, that was fun playing it here. Can't wait till he comes back.
Yeah,
Yeah, we'll have to play it again when you come back.
of course,
But
man.
yeah, it was a good time. But yeah, anything? Have we been talking for an hour already?
54 minutes.
54 minutes. Oh my gosh, that was fast.
Yeah. Nope. When you are,
Holy crap! But maybe we can do a short one for the holidays because everyone's holiday gaming. I mean,
yeah,
it's not even that much shorter. It's 6 minutes shorter than we're
yeah.
supposed to.
Oh no,
But
we missed the time we usually stop by 5 minutes. So different. We lost the whole. Listen.
Alex, how about I put 5 minutes of our outro song? That way it'll match the time. I don't know if there's like closing thoughts on this year of gaming. I feel like I'm excited to get back into content creation, and like I've been, like Tadpole said, I'm streaming 7 to 9. I always call it California time. What's it called? Western
PST.
time?
Think.
Yeah, it is PST over here. Okay.
Yeah.
7 to 9 PST. I might change what the 2 hour block is, but like I just started back up again, so I'm doing streaming, and that's been fun. I'm gonna be getting back into content creation, so I want to start making videos. I've been prepping, so I don't want to speak too much on it, but yeah, that's like now. I guess what we can talk about, what I just kind of started talking about, is like what we see going forward with Ultrapond or
Oh.
our gaming, if not Ultrapond, just your gaming lives. We talk about gaming on here, so.
Mhm.
I just got Dragon Quest Monsters, so I'm gonna be playing that. And I basically finished. I was talking about Pokemon Mystery Dungeon DX a lot. Like I finished the stories, I'm pretty sure. There's the only like missions I have left are like to catch Mew and like different legendaries that like I don't know. We'll see if I complete those, but I've dropped that game. And yeah, I'm looking forward to making stuff. And I'm kind of figuring out the vibe of my stream of what exactly I want it to be or what I want to do. But it is fun just playing games because I do have like 1 or 2 chatters every single stream, so that's nice to have someone to talk to. So come by, hang out, have a good time. But yeah, what are you thinking about for going forward if you're gonna make? Because I guess our next episode could be the New Year's episode, but I
Yeah.
think we could just talk about it a little bit right now
Yeah.
of like what we're gonna. Yeah.
I think one thing is I'm hoping one of my New Year's resolutions is to at least give an hour or two, like an hour a week, to just trying out games, even if it's like, hey, I got this game from Humble Bundle. Let's see if it was good or not. Then I'll just give my quick opinion. One of the things I've noticed is sometimes, even if I don't enjoy the game, just the simple analysis of the game is something I love. I believe I've shared with FoeCus a video about how like some rogue-like mechanics are starting to extend into games in general, the way a lot of RPG leveling mechanics have started to extend into games in general, and just like analyzing what the consequences of that are and ways that that's like why that's intelligent. I kind of that's kind of where I want to go with a lot of that stuff. I will continue. The thing is, with the D&D side, I feel like I'm going to be picking that up a lot more. But so I'm probably not going to be playing. I'm still not going to be playing very many games if I'm honest. But I'm going to be designing a lot more stuff for my version of 5th edition, which means I'm basically doing like low-level game development, not the like mechanics behind the scene, like just all the like macro. How does adding this mechanic change the game? Versus here's how you code in this attack trigger,
Yeah. Yeah, that's cool. It'll be cool to have like a new perspective on like games like that too. So that's a good idea.
Mhm.
Yeah, cool. So we'll be here. We'll be giving our opinion on random stuff that happens in gaming, talking about our experiences with games, giving you a new perspective. And yeah, I think that's all we're talking about today. Really, yeah. Any last
Everyone,
words? What's your last words?
last words are, I'm just trying to think of one specific word I can say. That will be the last word.
No, no. Give him the everyone after you say
Okay.
the last word though. Give him the. I like the tadpole outro.
Right. Pine cone. All right, that's the last
No,
word.
that's a good one. That's a good one.
It's very complicated. It's multiple words in one, but in a very smart way. All right, everyone, thank you so much for watching us in this final season, and I hope you all have a wonderful day.